Alright, welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage after a simply heartbreaking loss on Thanksgiving against the Raiders. It was just, that's a rough one, that's just a tough pill to swallow all the way around. It was a great effort by the Cowboys, especially towards the end, Dak put on a show. It was a great game, one of the most exciting Thanksgiving games we've seen in a long time. But unfortunately, the Cowboys do not come out on top. The Raiders win it in overtime. And that's just a tough one, The Cowboys battled it out, all throughout, with a lot of guys out, a lot of guys missing, who I'm really hoping we can get back this next Thursday against the Saints. But just a tough game, just honestly a depressing loss for me. Hopefully it didn't ruin anybody's Thanksgiving. It put a damper on mine, but, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. And a good, weekend overall. So, it was just a tough one, It was just not, it's just not what you want to see. It was a okay performance, I think, overall. Dak played really well. But Gallup played okay towards the end, had some good catches, but again, just the wide receiver play was down. The running game was nowhere to be found. It was just, again, the offense was just slowed. It was much better than they were against the Chiefs, but just, again, couldn't do a whole lot. The defense, I think, played pretty well again, except for a couple players who we'll get to later. Trust me. So, let's just get into it. I'm going to break it all down, but again, it's just a tough game, and so I do have some stuff to say about it, and then we'll get into some injury and COVID updates afterwards. So again, starting with the offense, I thought it was a good game by Dak. He missed some throws for sure. There was a crucial one in overtime to Noah Brown. That's a little more accurate. Who knows? Again, just, not a perfect game. I think we've seen Dak just a little bit off over this past month, this stretch. He's been missing a lot of weapons, so you can't put it too much on him. I thought it was a good game by him overall, over 300 yards. I think 2 touchdowns, should have had a third if it wasn't taken away by that penalty, but it really was a good game for him, I'd say. Pollard had, obviously, the great return, and I think, he was okay, but overall the running game just was not good. It wasn't moving. It was a struggle, and it has been for the past few games. That's something I really, really hope they can fix before the Saints game, because it's a problem. We saw a Cowboys run game that was dominant at the beginning of the season. Zeke and Pollard, they were both top 10 in rushing. They were both, just going crazy, and now both of them have just really slowed down. If you look at the season as a whole, it's been pretty solid, but I'd say the last month, the running game just has not been where it was. And, as we continue to get the line healthy and consistent, again, the line play was not great. It was better than the Chiefs. Better than we saw Steele and Lyle Collins switching out. We saw McGovern, Williams. It looked like I think it was different, for every drive for a while. Just a strange approach. I just think, you got to have some consistency, especially on the offensive line. And I think that's been contributing to some of these struggles. So I think that's something that they just got to get it right. I understand that they have a lot of depth on the line, but they got to pick 5 starters. You gotta. Who are you gonna have out there? I like Leo Collins. I know the Cowboys like Terrence Steele, and I've really liked his development this year. But you just gotta go with consistency. I like McGovern. Williams has been good, other than the penalties. So, let me know, who do you want starting? Do you want Leo Collins or Terrence Steele, Connor McGovern or Connor Williams? I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory with Beatus Martin and Tyron Smith at their respective positions. But let me know, your 5 on the offensive line. Do you want, we always want to see the best 5 out there, so let me know who that is for you guys. Because I don't think the Cowboys know right now, so... tight end play, I think, was solid. Schultz should have had a touchdown. It got taken off the board. Sean McEwen got his first career touchdown, so congratulations to him. And again, the wide receiver play, it was shaky. Gallup had over 100 yards, definitely his best game, but again, it wasn't great. If you watch the game, there were just drops, missed passes, missed catches, really. It just wasn't the best. The defense was solid again. I think Micah Parsons, had a great game. Tristan Hill had his best game of the year. Let me think. I think Dorrance Armstrong may have had a sack, or I'm not sure if that was him or not. But again, the defense was not the problem, except for, again, we'll get to it, the secondary. But the linebacker play was all right. The defensive line play was not too shabby. But let's get to the cornerbacks. And okay, so I'll start with Jordan Lewis again. Wasn't his best game. Struggled in coverage. Teron Diggs didn't do anything terribly wrong, but again, not his best game. I think Hurst played all right, but again, Casey, another huge missed tackle, allowing a huge touchdown by Deshaun Jackson. Can't do that. And now, I know it's the name you've been waiting for. Anthony Brown had four defensive pass interference penalties. And it was, all of those were just so costly. One obviously ended the game in overtime. And, I understand, cut Anthony Brown, you don't want him on the team anymore. But, you got to look at the whole season. He's had this game, horrible. The Bucs game was terrible. Both of these two games. But other than that, he's been good all, throughout the season. He's been consistent, except for these two games. So, I understand that you see these two games, and they are, they're outliers, but that's what you're going to remember. And I don't blame you, for 4 times, I'm not sure if I wanted Anthony Brown out there. But it's just the calls, I think, some of them were obvious. You could question the officiating, which I'll get to more in a second as well. But, you just can't do that. He was too grabby. He didn't get his head around. It was just a horrible game for him. I'm not saying he needs to be off the team. I think he's had a good season. I think he needs to be recognized for that. But this game was bad. It was just bad. And if you're going to be an NFL player, you just can't do that, And no excuses for him. It was just a bad game. And he had truly game-costing penalties. So, again, just horrible on that front. Hopefully he can bounce back, because he really has had a quiet, good season. But, these are the games that we're remembering from him. So, unfortunately, that's just how it goes in the NFL. And on special teams, again, Tony Pollard, I think, has an argument for Special Teams Player of the Week. He was great. Had that incredible 100-yard kick return to really, I think, put the Cowboys right back in the game. They were struggling. Nothing was going well. And I think that kind of kick-started them to get back going again. So that was great. Zarline missed an extra point again. I don't even know what to think of him. Yeah, last game against the Chiefs, he was automatic. This game, again, it was like, you're nervous every time. He's been clutch. He's made the important kicks, but those extra points add up. You can't be missing those, Brian Anger had a great game. We saw him way too much, but there were some good punts, especially in the first half. But really, just overall, disappointing game, There's not much else I can say about it. It was a loss, and it was it was a gut punch. It was the most heartbreaking loss I've seen in a while, for sure, for this season. But it was just rough game. I keep wanting to say, put it behind us, but we've lost 3 out of our last 4 games now. We're obviously still very good, 7-4. I think a lot of us would be happy if, we knew that was the result at this point in the season. But it's just, the potential this team has and the really unluckiness they've had with COVID and injuries. It's been hard. The starters they were down. Demarcus Lawrence, I hope he can play next game. Randy Gregory, he's still on injured reserve. Brett Urban, Maurice Canady, IR. Neville Gallimore, I don't know when he's going to come back. Still on injured reserve as well. Donovan Wilson, injured reserve. And then we swing over to the offense. Amari Cooper, COVID. CeeDee Lamb, he didn't play with the concussion. A lot of people, I'm sure, were disappointed about that. But just the injuries everywhere, I'm sure I probably missed some. Blake Jarwin, he's still out, injured reserve. It's just been so tough. There's been so much to overcome. But again, it can't be an excuse. I hope that we can get some of these guys back next game, but it's not going to change the outcome. It can definitely change the outcome, but there's just nothing we can do at this point, So we just got to go out there, play our best. I think they did that this game, but it just wasn't enough, We need to rebound next week against the Saints. I hate to call it a must-win game because I think we win this division no matter what. But, you know, for seeding, I don't want to play the Rams. I don't want to have the 4th seed and play either the Rams or the Cardinals in wild card, because I don't feel that confident about that like I would if we were playing the Saints or the Panthers, you know, whoever it is that's, you know, could be getting a 6 or 7 seed. You know, I feel so much better about that than going against LA or the Cardinals. That's not what I want to see. So, you know, I know we're going to make the playoffs. I think that's pretty much a given, but I'm worried about seeding at this point, and it hasn't been good lately. You know, you can blame it on a lot of things, but, you know, right now there can't be any excuses. We got to bounce back. We got to have a good game against the Saints. So, thanks you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and feel free to predict the score for the Saints game. I think the Cowboys need to win, and I think they will win. You know, this one, I think there's a real sense of urgency, and they got to get it done. So, you know, I hope they do. And again, you know, feel free to comment your scores. I'll definitely be doing a game after that, I'll be definitely doing a video after that game, breaking it all down. Hopefully a win. You know, we haven't seen a win video in a while. So, thanks again for watching anyway, though, and I'll see you guys next time.